Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in political circles lately. Abdul El-Sayed's narrow victory in Michigan's Democratic Senate primary. Now, on the surface, this might seem like just another election result. But personally, I think this is a huge deal. It's not just about who won. It's about what this win represents. El-Sayed's victory is a clear signal that the progressive wing of the Democratic Party is gaining serious momentum, especially in a battleground state like Michigan. And let me tell you, this is fascinating because it's happening in a state that's often seen as a microcosm of the broader political landscape in the U.S. What makes this really interesting is the margin of El-Sayed's win. We're talking about a difference of just under 1 percentage point, less than 15,000 votes out of over 1.5 million cast. That's razor thin, folks. And it raises a deeper question. How much does this narrow victory say about the strength of progressive ideas versus the establishment? In my opinion, it's a testament to the power of grassroots movements, but it also highlights the deep divisions within the Democratic Party. El-Sayed's win wasn't just against Haley Stevens. It was against tens of millions of dollars in outside spending, including a massive investment from AIPAC. That's no small feat. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. El-Sayed's campaign wasn't just about winning a Senate seat. It was about pushing a progressive agenda, Medicare for all, campaign finance reform, and a reevaluation of U.S. foreign policy, particularly regarding Israel. This is where things get really contentious. El-Sayed's call to halt military aid to Israel has put him at odds with groups like AIPAC, which has already vowed to oppose him in the general election. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just a local issue. It's a reflection of a much larger debate within the Democratic Party about its stance on Israel, especially in the wake of the Gaza conflict. From my perspective, this primary race was a battle of narratives. On one side, you had Stevens, who leaned heavily on her experience in manufacturing and the economy, positioning herself as the pragmatic choice. On the other, El-Sayed framed himself as the anti-establishment candidate, someone willing to challenge corporate influence and big-money politics. And here's the thing. El-Sayed's win suggests that, at least in Michigan, voters are increasingly receptive to that message. But let's not forget the challenge ahead, uniting a fractured party to defeat Mike Rogers in November. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of outside spending in this race. Over $50 million was poured into this primary, with AIPAC alone spending more than $30 million to support Stevens. If you take a step back and think about it, that's an unprecedented amount of money for a Senate primary. It underscores just how high the stakes are, not just for Michigan, but for control of the Senate. And it raises a critical question. Can El-Sayed overcome this kind of financial firepower in the general election? Personally, I think the real test for El-Sayed isn't just winning the primary. It's whether he can bridge the divide within the Democratic Party. Progressives are celebrating this as a victory, but moderates are skeptical about his electability in a general election. This tension isn't unique to Michigan. It's a national issue. What this really suggests is that the Democratic Party is at a crossroads, trying to figure out whether its future lies with progressive ideals or centrist pragmatism. A detail I find fascinating is how El-Sayed's win contrasts with his 2018 gubernatorial loss. Back then, he lost by 21 percentage points to Gretchen Whitmer. Fast forward to now, and he's not just winning. He's winning in a way that's forcing the establishment to take notice. Senator Chris Van Hollen called it a wake-up call for the Washington Democratic establishment, and I couldn't agree more. This isn't just a local victory. It's a statement about the direction the party could be heading. But here's the thing. El-Sayed's narrow win also means he can't afford to alienate anyone. He needs to bring moderates on board while staying true to the progressive base that got him this far. That's a delicate balance, and how he navigates it will likely determine whether he can defeat Rogers in November. Finally, let's not overlook the broader implications of this race. Michigan is a must-win state for Democrats if they want to retain control of the Senate. And with the stakes this high, every move El-Sayed makes from here on out will be under a microscope. Will he be able to unite the party? Can he appeal to independent voters? These are the questions that will define not just his campaign, but the future of the Democratic Party. So here's my closing thought. El-Sayed's victory is more than just a win for progressives. It's a moment of reckoning for the Democratic Party. It's a reminder that politics isn't just about policies. It's about narratives, money, and the ability to inspire. Whether you're a progressive, a moderate, or somewhere in between, this race should make you think about what kind of party and what kind of country you want to see. What do you think? Is El-Sayed's win a turning point, or just a blip in the political landscape? Let me know in the comments below.